What is that magazine that Onyx was in?
Mid-Atlantic or Southeast?
Southeast.
Q.
Project Q, yeah. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Y'all. Hey.
Welcome to episode 51 of the BGKH show with Dominion and Epic. I am Dominion.
I am Epic.
And welcome to Men on Film.
The show from
a male point of view. No. So, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you made it.
Well,
it was touch and go for a minute.
Listen, I don't know why you dolls doubt me.
Our engineer was like, so
I don't know why you dolls.
You about to make this call? We gonna do this or not?
Listen, and I shows up all the time. Thank you so much.
Listen, you are not Kathy Lee or Hoda.
Oh no,
I
not
saw
at
Kathy
all.
Lee. Did you see? Because she's gone now.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
They said how she was the nicest person, and they were talking about her wine on set.
I don't know what Kathy Lee is going through, but she looked like a real bobblehead. Like her head was like normal.
Is that new for you?
I haven't been paying attention. Her head was like a normal person's size, but her body was like this. So like her head was about the same size as her shoulders. It was kind of freaky looking. I was like, "Oh, girl, you all right? You doing okay?"
I don't necessarily know what the hell the issue is because she seems like she's always been a bobblehead to me. But her
personality. But I'm talking about her physical appearance. Like she's got like anorexia going on or something.
They both got big heads.
Yeah.
It's like Oprah Winfrey when she lost all that weight too.
Yes,
right.
But it's way worse than that. But anyway, that's not my affair.
But
so what does the BGKH stand for?
I'm so sorry, I got off track.
Yeah, we got off.
That
was me. That was me.
But that's all right. That's all right. But the B stands for this is a prime example of what some of us do. Mm-hmm. The black. Sometimes we get a little bit off track.
Right,
sometimes.
just a little bit.
Just a little. That's what the B stands for. We get a little bit off track. So we don't have to pull that back in. But that's
reel it back in.
And so the BGKH show, the next letter would be the G. And what's the G stand for?
The gaze.
Oh, that means, so you're saying like the gauge, where you like the tire gauge and there's pressure? And
no, honey, the gaze.
You mean the gaze.
You see this t-shirt? I taught your boyfriend that thing you like. The gaze.
The gaze. Okay, yes.
Gaze.
Okay, so now I'm familiar. Okay.
I'm telling you, when I bought this shirt.
Let's focus. Let's go with the K. What's the K stand for?
I don't like her right now. I do not like her right now.
Let's go with the K. Come on, go
no,
with
honey,
the K.
you'll never. Foundation garments prevent all that shit. People come up to me all the time, be like, "What is that?" It's to keep your motherfucking hands to yourself. That's what it's for.
That's the kinky.
The K is
That's
for
the K
kinky.
for the kinky. Mm-hmm.
It's kinky. Kinky. So kinky.
I like
feasting. A little rope. A little bondage, a little wax,
little wax,
impact,
fire,
feasting,
little fire,
fire in the hole, tickling. Well, speaking of holes, did you see that there was a massive but unimpressive black hole?
Sounds like some people we know.
Listen, but, I can tell stories.
But anyway,
but
because they have a hole, that that also makes them, like everybody else, human.
Yes. So before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Onyx Southeast, who had an article in Project Q magazine. It's available at www.projectq.us and look for, I guess, onyx and leather and blah, blah, blah. We'll post the link on our various Facebook pages so you'll see it.
And listen, shout out to the brothers specifically Daddy Rod, Centaur, Shango, and Redemption. Bitch, you did that, bitch. Bitch, you did.
I was like, come through. He was giving me Britney Spears.
It was almost like Little Kim-ish. Like
it was Little Kim, but it was also Britney Spears. Remember, what was it? Was she was like the flight attendant with like the blue?
Oh, that was Poison Ivy. I mean, Toxic.
Toxic, yes. Yeah. And so it was giving me that a little bit. Yeah, it was, but it was hot. Yeah. It was quite hot. So
yeah. So listen, shout out to all y'all because y'all did some amazing pictures. And,
yes.
And whoever the photographer was, amazing, absolutely amazing. So thank you all for that. And I'm glad that you all had this spread because again, it was amazing. So check out the article for those people that are in the Atlanta area because it'll give you some more information about the chapter and also the organization. So please do.
Definitely. So how was your weekend or your week?
So my week was, it's the normal stuff, but the weekend was, listen, you ever have those dreams where you wake up from it, it's so intense that you think you've been somewhere or you think you have to be somewhere by a certain time, like you're always pressed for time and everything's running, and you wake up, you're like, I'm late, and you're like, wait, but I'm off, and I don't have anywhere. Listen, I didn't have that part. But the part about not having any place to go and anything to do this weekend
was lovely.
Listen, I forgot. I used to cherish my weekends when I had absolutely nothing to do. I would wake up in the morning and have a slow pace, no drama, no issues, nowhere to be, no nothing, no text messages, no bullshit, no nothing. Mm-hmm. And I had one of those this weekend, and I was absolutely. Listen, I went to bed at like 8. It was before 9 o'clock, and I went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up
on
at
a
like
Friday
7
night.
something.
You're like, this is lovely.
I woke up like 7 something, which is unheard of for me. And I'm laying in the bed like. So I started my day, went got me some coffee, and fixed me something to eat. And I caught the Saturday afternoon matinee or the senior citizens pricing on a movie, and I was good. So
cute that you didn't invite me, but it's okay.
You know what? I did not, but I actually thought that you were out of town.
We had a pledge meeting.
I don't know why I thought you were out of town. I thought you were going.
I'm going out of town this weekend.
Okay, so yes. I got that confused. So, but yeah, it was cute though. It was real cute.
Thanks.
It was real cute.
I appreciate it.
So I'll refrain from talking about the movie, but it was cute.
Thanks.
But other than that, it was a good week. It was a good week. How was your week?
For you.
How was your week?
So I told y'all about my toothes last week. So no, never in a million years.
Your toothes.
So I had the tooth out on Friday.
Bitch, that looked like.
And it was
painful. It just looked painful looking at the picture.
Or fucking deal. Ugh. Let me say it again. An or fucking deal. Ugh. So, because the tooth was all this foolishness going on and infection underneath it and the antibiotics. So the local anesthesia that they shoot you up with is only about 75% effective. And, remember, it's not a whole tooth anymore. It's like the shell of a tooth, but the root is still in there. So he's in there and they're slowly trying to wiggle it out and pull it and wiggle it out and pull it. And what happens when the infection eats away at the bone? So, I got like a hole. I don't have just like a missing tooth. I have a hole in my jaw that is
so
now.
You're like hiding antibiotics in your hole or something. Like up in, you can like put a pill down in there probably.
I could, but they gave me like bone graft, that powder or whatever to help regrow it. But apparently that takes a while, so that's not going to happen overnight. But anyway. So they kept having to stop and numb me up more, so because it'd be fine, and all of a sudden they do something, and I'm like, oh, and I have a lazy jaw, right? And he kept going like, can you open a little wider? And I'm like, and then he's like, a little wider. I'm like, and then he's like, a little wider. I was like, okay, but you got to pay me extra for this.
Listen, at least they didn't put those little dental dams in there to keep it open.
No, they didn't do that. But I was just like, you got to just hold it open too, because I'm just like, they had to like cancel other appointments. Like other patients was like, why is this taking so, you can hear them. It was supposed to take like an hour. I was there for 4 fucking hours. 4 hours. And then I posted it. Now it looks worse than it is because all of that,
like a lot of gauze at first, and I was
all of that was on a 2 by 2 inch piece of gauze that I had zoomed in on. So if you zoom in on something like this, it looks huge. Right. So it's all of that was contained on that piece of gauze. Okay. So, and I had zoomed in because I was a little bit far away from it. So, but it was still,
it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was like, is this bitch okay? So he posted, did this happen last week or did it happen this week? Like, when did it happen? And I was like, but then I was talking to you and I was like,
right. It is not just the tooth that has to come out. Because remember, so what happens is if the infection eats away at the bones and it turns the bone into this sort of, they called it granulated tissue. So that was what a significant amount of that is. So they got to scrape all of that out until they get down to the bone.
I just got a visual of like grits when you said that.
No. It's quite. Oh that's what they just call it. But it was like this spongy. So like a lot of that you saw in that thing was this. The tooth was actually in discrete pieces. A lot of that was like the spongy tissue that all had to get cleaned out and taken care of, and so they done stitched me up now. Now I got this hole, and now I'm going to get a temporary implant that hooks to the adjacent teeth, which is good because I'm going to New York this weekend.
It was like I am going to
fuck some food. I'm going to the Bao. Remember, the Bao is the Chinese hot pot spot with the dessert spot that's downstairs.
Okay,
and we're going to what is it called? Smorgasburg, which is, it's not food trucks, but it's like food stalls that's right on the river in Williamsburg, and we're gonna do a lot of stuff. So I gotta have my mouths together. So after I
was just waiting to hear the name because
I'm sitting home, right, minding my own damn business. So first of all, I was already annoyed because I get home and the housekeeper is there. As I told her when she had to reschedule, I was like, all right, you just need to be the first appointment because when I get home, my mouth is going to be, I wasn't expecting it to be quite as long as it was, but I was like, my mouth is going to be whatever, and I'm not ready. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want a quiet house. She's still there, puttering away. She do a good job, but she's slow. So she's still puttering away. So I'm like, fine. This is why I had this brand new basement. I am loving this new basement. Let me tell you.
Your ass is
I got the heater hooked up, been like in a big space where they got the wire heaters that
blow down. Yeah,
they don't really blow. It's the element. So I got one that's like sits right here on a stand. So I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, this is lovely. So I'm just enjoying it. And so I hear coming down the stairs, and I'm assuming it's the housekeeper, coming to ask a question or whatnot. And around the corner comes my uncle, and I'm like,
so listen.
The look on my face
I was
is
just
like,
about to say, like,
hey!
That would have been the meme of all memes.
And in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Who let you in my house? Did you not understand that you just can't show up at my house uninvited? See, because that's what they do. That's what my father's brothers do. They all just show up at each other's house. But I don't fuck with none of them. So maybe if we were cool, like if you came by the house unannounced, I'd be like, I would either be like, hey, come on in, or like, girl, I'm really not feeling like company right now, in which case you'd be like, okay. But he just comes and plops down, and he is like, this is nice. Your basement is really nice. This is so nice, as he is constantly, sitting back into the plush fabric of my sofa and getting all comfortable and shit. So, and I'm like,
why is you here?
So I'm sitting here like silently, like out with it, because whatever it was, I was gonna be like, no, I need money. No, can I use your address or something? No, can I? No, whatever it is, no. My father's dead. I have nothing to say to him. Out of all of the brothers, nothing at all. So I'm just sitting there, and so I'm texting my sister like, call me back immediately. Just call me back. Her ass calls me like 2 hours later. Oh, I'm sorry. I was washing my hair in the kitchen and I forgot she never has her phone on her. Like never. Ever. But anyway, so then I called Orion and I was like, girl, where are you? He's like, I'm just at work chilling. I was like, call me immediately and just play along. So he calls me. I'm like, hello? Really? I mean, this is supposed to be my day off.
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, I guess I can do it in like 5 minutes. I just got to get, some stuff together. Okay. And meanwhile, he's like, what are you doing? On the phone, he's like, what are you talking about?
Ryan is a clown. Because I can imagine him like, what are you talking about? What is?
And I was like, okay, 5 minutes. Okay, all right, click. And so then I'm like, I got this call I gotta take. He's like, all right, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna just sit here.
So no,
get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
Right. You got to go. All right. So then when my sister finally does call back, she's like, oh well. The housekeepers, she don't watch this show. Her name is JoJo, and that's not her real name. I mean, that's what people call her, but that's not her legal name. To be right. So JoJo and my uncle have been hanging out. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't care about none of it. But a couple of times when he's come over to pick up the mail, because, I mean, the house that my sister lives in now is still, my father's house, or was. So, and, this is why I don't fuck with my family, because they Southeast from when Southeast was Southeast. They always trying to run a scam or a stunt. They be doing shit like don't pay their taxes for like 4 or 5 years and just think, oh, well, I can declare bankruptcy. Well, no, motherfucker, you can declare bankruptcy all you want, but Uncle Sam is still going to get his money. So they always trying to pull a stunt. So like one of his stunts is like, he changed whatever jurisdiction his tags are in every 6 months because he run up these tickets and then don't want to pay it. And, so another stunt is not having his mail forwarded to where he lives now. And okay, whatever. So he goes to pick up his mail and JoJo is with him and has been a couple of times. And I'm like, so JoJo was the one that let him in the house. I'm about to figure out how to have this conversation because if she's having some sort of a relationship with, listen, by figuring it out, I just have to, get my mind right because the conversation is don't let people in my house.
Right.
Nobody.
You have a key for a reason.
There's one person that gets to come in the house, Trayvon, because only the two of us live there. Anybody else got to have an appointment.
Yeah.
Anybody. I mean, I get that she knows who he is and everything, but so they just need to understand that. So that was my week. Other than that, it was cool. I'm really enjoying my basement. I'm looking forward to my weekend in New York City this weekend, and I'm going to have a wonderful time.
Good. I still wish I was a fly on the wall so I could have caught that first expression.
I was just like, I was like, am I being punked? I mean, what the fuck? I was like, how did he get in the house? What the fuck?
So did he ever actually get to ask you whatever it is he wanted?
He didn't want anything.
He
so
just
here's
wanted
the
to stop
thing.
by.
No, here's the thing.
So for now.
He's been hanging out with JoJo. So, and JoJo that's what she do is housekeeping all over and she didn't got him to be picking her up from various and sundry places. So he was there to pick her up because she was already supposed to have been done with my house. So that was why he was there to pick her up.
Oh, in the car.
In his car that's in a different jurisdiction now.
The Pontiac, whatever. Did he ever get that?
No, we gave that shit. I don't know. Okay. Don't know. Don't care.
Okay, whatever.
All I know is that it ain't in front of the house anymore and it ain't in my father's name. So that's all that I know.
Okay.
So I did my taxes that weekend as well. And since I don't know why, since I couldn't eat, I was making all this shit. Now I got a big old vat. You want some tomato sauce? Some homemade tomato sauce with sausage in it? Not today, but come by tomorrow. Come get you some. You want some cheesecake? Some key lime cheesecake?
How the hell you just
Bitch,
like?
I was just,
what is wrong with you?
I don't know. I was just like, I was starving because my mouth was all fucked up. So I was like, let me just get like a bushel of tomatoes because I make
from scratch.
I chop I cut the tomatoes, take all the seeds out, roast a tomato with some shit,
then puree that shit. You got more than enough time. Eric did that bullshit one time before. He was like, he had a surgery. He was out for like weeks. He was like, bitch, I'm just leaning up against the counter. I'm just making some tomato sauce. I was like, making some tomato sauce to get the fucking ragu or the Prego and dip it out the bar. He's like,
no, ma'am.
No, he's like, I'm boiling the tomato. I was like, bitch,
right.
You have too much time on your hands.
And I made a homemade cheesecake, key lime cheesecake with a ginger snap crust and everything. Yeah, so
ginger snap crust.
Yeah, so instead of graham crackers, I use ginger snaps, but I compressed it too much, so the crust is really like caramelized. It's really good though. It's really good.
Ginger snaps is like a bittersweet thing for me. Like when I was a kid, my mother used to love ginger snaps in that black and orange box.
Yeah, you're gonna eat these ginger snaps though.
But after a while, I was like,
get your mind right.
all
right, so we got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
So we're gonna get to let's do RuPaul at the end. So
okay.
American Horror Story season 9.
Listen, season 9 is coming out. It is due to come out. There's no date. But again, the preview that he released on Instagram was
I didn't see that. I gotta remember to look for that.
The season's going to be American Horror Story 1984. So it's a throwback.
So
to
we're
like
not doing.
slasher.
So it's not going to be a sequel. It's not going to be part 2 of.
I don't know what he's going to do with it.
What was this last season called? I forget.
This last season was Apocalypse.
So it's not part 2 of Apocalypse?
This is American Horror Story 1984. And so it is a throwback to the slasher films of the 80s. And so in this advertisement, you actually see this person walking with this huge ass knife behind this stereotypical white girl that's running through the woods. And, she finds a house, of course, and she closes the door and she's leaned up against the wall. And then you see this big ass knife come through the damn door. And I was like, what the hell? So I don't know how they're going to do that. I'm not sure who all is going to be in it. I'm not sure if he's going to relate it to, the rest of the stories, which they could, because remember in Apocalypse they had a throwback to where Joan Collins was playing her the slasher film, the Santa thing, the Santa horror movie that she was in, and so they may try to connect it some way that way. I'm not even sure, but anyway. All I do know is that's what the story is going to be. Evan Peters is the only person that has not signed on for this season as
I saw that
he's not going to show up this season.
That's fine.
So, but Evan was some crazy, and I liked his crazy.
Yeah.
I liked his crazy every season.
All right.
So, as a side note, so when you see Ryan Murphy, you also see Brad Falchuk as well. Brad has also inked a 4-year deal with Netflix, as a matter of fact.
So did Ryan.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see that. I saw that Brad did, but not Ryan.
He left Fox to go to Netflix.
So, okay, but that may be true. I know that Ryan just inked his, so he's still going to work on Pose and FX and all the, American Horror Story and everything else, but he just also inked another deal. So, listen, both of them, you work it out. Like, you all are inking your separate deals. I'm here for it. Get your money. Get your money. Get your money. So, I'm here for that.
Pose. Sunday, June 9th. We'll be ready for that.
This is going to be one old summer, and I'm looking forward to it because that was what I was looking forward to last summer.
Yes,
I was absolutely looking forward. And wait, let's pause because I'm thinking about New York. I need to hear. We talked about that link that I shared with you from our girl from Drag Race. Who won last season? Sasha Valentino.
Sasha Fierce. Sasha Velour. Yes.
Sasha Velour. She had a one-woman show.
Yeah.
That I'm pissed off that I just found out about.
Yeah, I would have loved to go see it.
I'm kind of pissed off because I would have loved to have gone to see this show. And I don't know if
I would have made
knows,
a day trip to go to see that.
Like, does anybody know if it's been taped anywhere? Can you send me a link to it? Is she going to do it again somewhere? So if anybody sees that with Sasha Velour and that show, please let me know because I really, really, really want to go see that show.
Yeah.
So pause on that. Or unpause now. So June 9th, season 2 is going to premiere and Pose. And it is going to continue. And they said that it's going to actually start right where the opening day of Madonna's Vogue single, which was released in 1990.
Yes.
Now, listen, I don't know about anybody else because I'm a kid, that was my time. And that video was everything for me.
It was. In hindsight, it was a bit of cultural appropriation, but
So I'm not discounting that. And it sure
now,
was.
so in hindsight, but at the time it was hot, and I still remember when she did it on when she performed
on the MTV Music Awards.
That was Marie Antoinette. It was good.
Oh my God, that was the best thing. But for me, it was like a great time because I had just started getting into the ballroom scene, and so it was phenomenal, and it was everything. Like I remember being in the neighborhood in Philadelphia, which was on 13th Street, and you're sitting down, and somebody would drop by in the car, and you hear the doom doom doom, and the kids would just go into it like
right. So, maybe you can't always apply the current day mores to them because, I mean, we were going in for it just as much as, the white girls were. So,
I think we were going in for it more than the white kids, and I think we kind of made them pay attention
in the beginning, especially.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, and it's Madonna, because Madonna, for me, until I actually saw Madonna, I didn't really realize that she was actually not a person of color.
Really?
And when I did see her, now again, her voice was, but again, Tina Marie has the same effect. That doesn't at first listen. I didn't say you couldn't tell, but I'm saying at first listen you would think, oh, well.
But Tina Marie could sing. Madonna's never been known as a singer.
So we're not even talking about whether they can sing or not. That's not even the issue. I'm just saying, just to hear the voice and the music and everything else, I just assumed it was. Well, I say assumed. It was a shock to me that she was not a person of color. It was a shock to me that she was not a person of color. So, and I loved her because Borderline and all that stuff, it was great. Like, I enjoyed it. And so, listen, I liked Madonna, and I didn't realize I actually liked her as much as I did. So I kind of looked at my little, I was looking at my CD collection like, I actually have a lot of her damn music. I'm like, oh, crap. Now,
so speaking of the ballroom community, they're also re-releasing Paris is Burning in theaters.
That is on my birthday weekend, bitch.
Let's do it.
Bitch, I am here for all of it. Because
Yes.
I am here to quote all the lines. I feel like this is going to be
The
like the
gayest
Rocky
summer
Horror
of all time.
Yep, like the Rocky Horror Picture Show was like, you want to talk about
You want to talk about reading? Let's talk about reading.
the
And come
entire theater.
What's the matter, Pedro? Are you going through some sort of a psychological change in your life? Are you going back to being a man?
Listen,
And I just thought, I had been saying that for years, and I thought about it. She was talking to some trans person.
yes.
Who was like, are you deciding that you don't want to be a woman
Called
anymore?
her
And
boy name again.
Right. She called whatever this person, let's say it was Janine, and he said, "What's the matter, Pedro?"
I
That
said,
is
oh,
because they were talking about reading.
Yes.
And so that was actually
listen.
a vicious read because it was someone who was living their life as a woman, and he was like, "What's the matter, Pedro?"
Listen, and they were reading throughout that whole, because I remember
Yes.
even the scene where they were at the beach and the one young lady was like, "Oh my God, I'm free. I'm just as free as I want to be. I can be all the woman I could want to be." And then her good girlfriend was like, "Except for that voice." Now, as cruel as it was, and as cruel as it is, it was, listen, for me, it demonstrated like good friends and,
Yes.
and the stuff that they go through and the way you give friends like just a little bit more liberties. And
Right.
so
I also didn't know that movie was shot over 7 years.
I didn't know it took that long.
Yeah, I
as well.
was actually how I found out that it was being re-released was on the route today. They were talking about it
I sent
being.
you a link, didn't I? Did I send you a link on the on Facebook Messenger?
Maybe you did. Yes,
Okay.
maybe you did. But I was also reading about it today, and they
Okay.
were just saying they were mentioning that Jenny Livingston made that movie over 7 years.
So what I would like to have happen is I would really want to see who from that movie is still here.
So-
and what are they doing now? Because I know Jenny's the
Unfortunately,
producer.
most of them are dead.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But Hector, I think,
I-
was one of the last ones.
Yeah. Well, remember the guy who was in the military drag?
Yes.
He's still alive.
Okay.
Because a couple of years, like 2 years ago, there was a showing down at some museum.
Here in D.C.?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And like
I think that was at the
Racine
Kennedy
moderated. No, it wasn't at the Kennedy.
it?
It was downtown on the mall.
Oh, okay.
Air and Space Museum or something like that. Yeah, I think it was Air and Space.
Or was it the African American?
No, it certainly wasn't that. It wasn't
Okay.
that because that was before that was even built
Okay.
or finished. And Racine moderated a panel with various people in the DC sort of ballroom Vogue community, and like he was the only guy from the movie that was still there. I don't know if that means he was the only person still alive. But what interesting part is about the two young boys because they would be
I
about
would
our
love
age
to
now.
see-
I would
yeah.
love to see what's going on with
love
them.
to
I
see
really
it.
hope that
Yeah.
they're doing okay.
I'd hope so as well.
So R. Kelly is still stunting the girls.
Child.
R. Kelly performed. He raked in $22,000. Was supposed to perform for an hour. Now, according to TMZ, he hung out. He hung out for an hour. According to what I read in the route, he did. Yes, he did. Was at the spot for an hour, but he only performed for 28 seconds. So you know what I mean?
Line of bump and grind.
He said, "My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yeah." Oh, that's 28 seconds. I'm out.
Listen, and the people paid for it.
Listen,
they paid him
and their money
$22,000.
Soon party. Because listen,
the promoter got 2 and he got 20.
They paid $100 per person to see him perform for 28 seconds. That is some what's the girl that's always late?
Erykah Badu or
No,
Lauryn Hill?
That's some Lauryn Hill type foolishness. Because like people that are like, Lauryn Hill disappointed me. It's like, girl, you should know by now.
And I take that back. Erykah Badu is not always late.
Yeah,
she's not
Erykah
always
Badu
late.
yeah,
she's on time. I just don't particularly care with the concert sometimes. I was like, you rolling around doing rhythmic gymnastics on the ball and with the baton and like, girl, what the
right? I just need you to sing like 10 songs.
Just sing
from,
the songs. Just come on stage with your rap on and your shoes off and sing some damn music.
I just need you to sing songs from Baduism and Mama's Gun, and then you can leave because all that other shit after that, I'm sort of done with.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
and then back rent. Okay.
So
this
so R. Kelly apparently has a back rent situation with his landlord in Chicago. The Midwest Commercial Funding, which I'm assuming is the leasing company, they issued a subpoena to Sony Music in an attempt to collect on a $173,000 debt owed by R. Kelly. Now, they got this money, and they said it was actually collected from a bank account with Bank of America. See, I don't trust them hoes. I don't like them.
Yeah.
That was owned by the singer, and they took out $154,000. So the remainder of that, which is like, what is that, 19,000 something or whatever, whatever that is, that was not touched or not put towards that. But they're still going to probably try to get the rest of that money.
Of course,
but they got a good piece of their change. So whatever. But I'm sorry, it's raining and it's pouring, and you got child support to pay, you got back rent, you making $20,000 for 28 seconds, and then you also go on TMZ and also say, well, take it easy. I got to make I got to make a living. I got to pay this child support and everything else. Well, child, you knew that, but you knew that a long time ago. But okay.
I have zero sympathy for him.
God.
All right, so Nipsey Hussle, I honestly have no idea who this person is.
So let me tell you why I don't even know, why I never really paid attention to Nipsey Hussle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not really a big.
Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle. The only reason I even paid attention to the name because it made me think of Nipsey Russell.
Of course.
That's it, and that's fine. I get it. But his music, I'm not into. Listen, I'm gonna claim my old card. I don't. Some of this trap music and whatever it is. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna say he's a trap music artist because I'm not gonna say that. I don't know. But what his music, the feeling from his music, I didn't really get it. That's just my own personal thing. I didn't particularly care for it. I'm not really his style of rap is not really my cup of tea. I'm a Northeast New York, New Jersey type of KRS-One, Jay-Z type of Nas-ish. But this I don't really get. And it's okay. Make your money the best way you can. And apparently he did great things in California.
Yeah.
He had his whole shopping mall and his whole store. I'm not mall.
Apparently he was a little Hotep-ish though.
Well,
that's what I gather. I mean, because I didn't really put a lot of effort into it.
So wait a minute. And the only other reason why I knew because he was dating Lauren London.
No, who the fuck is Lauren London?
Lauren London is one of these women out here that basically are that are on the come up from being who they're dating. And I'm not gonna call them a hoe or a tramp or nothing like that, but she's been out there for a minute. Lauren London.
Oh, okay. Well, good for her. And good for him. Sorry, not good for him, but.
And I was like, oh, look at Lauren. And she's cute. She's like one of these basketball wives or these Atlanta housewives or whatever. Like, that's just what she is. And that's fine. And maybe she's talented. I don't know. I don't know anything about Lauren London. I just know her name. So she's been associated with several people or dating several people that I can remember. And that's why I know her name. Mm-hmm. That's it.
All right. Game of Thrones returns on Sunday, and I will be ready. How far have you gotten?
Listen,
while you were sitting around doing nothing,
I'm emotionally drained. I'm up in season 3 now, and I'm emotionally drained.
So you got through.
I'm only.
Have you got to the Red Wedding?
I'm at the beginning of season 3. So I think Red Wedding is in like 5. I think.
I think it's at the end of season 3.
Is it? Okay. Well, then good. I got something to look forward to. But now listen. Let me be clear. Khal Drogo.
Yeah, he can get it.
Jason Momoa is fine, but Khal Drogo, and I don't even know if I'm saying his name right.
It's Khal Drogo. Mm-hmm.
Khal Drogo, when he was doing this hype session talking about his son, and he was running around like, I want to give him this, and I was sitting there watching television like,
this is right.
Listen, poor thing.
So the new episode, new season of the last season, premieres Sunday 9 p.m. So
I'm emotionally
where I will
attached
be
already. And did you see these Oreo cookies that with the Game of Thrones on the cover?
I had read about them, but I mean, I'm not that deep into it. I like the shows, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean it's cute, but listen, we're not gonna do that.
All right, so RuPaul's Drag Race, the Drag Olympics. I like you thought that was a great idea.
Yes, absolutely great. So I'm enjoying these ideas.
I take back my earlier criticism that. Well, I don't take it back. I just think they had some badly written skits. But these last couple, with when they did the televangelist thing, when they did the musical, and this were pretty good.
Yeah,
this was to me was the best. I thought it was funny, and everyone, even Scarlett, who was terrible, wasn't terrible.
So, and that's my thing. I did not pay attention to Scarlett in the competition. And what I mean by I didn't pay attention to her, she didn't stand out to me in a bad way. Mm-hmm. She blended into the back. So for me, if you don't stand out, and you either stand out in a good way or a bad way. And she didn't. So I felt like even though I knew she was struggling, I thought she did what she was supposed to do, and she blended in with the rest of it.
Right.
So I was okay with that. I don't know how Rue this season and his judging and the things that he's picking out. I'm disagreeing with him a lot on this season. I don't know what it is. I'm just really disagreeing. And Michelle has been very consistent with her stuff for the girls to, want your waist cinch. I want you to have a different look. Right. I want you to give me a part of your personality. Like, she's consistent with that. But Rue, for some reason, I'm not agreeing with him. And every other season we've been right on par with what with the decision. But I'm disagreeing with him this season. So
I figured out part of what my thing is with Silky. Silky always looks homeless.
When she's not in drag.
And like when they were showing like behind the scenes, her t-shirts had holes in them and stains, and they were dirty, and I was just like,
listen,
do you not realize that you were on TV? I understand that you were out of drag, but you could slick your hair back or something. Listen. If you're supposed to be like planning for a reality show, you look a hot mess for a show that is all about the aesthetic. And listen, it's not because she's a big girl. She just looks terrible.
That has nothing to do with it, but yeah, she's just unkept. But, listen, that it does come across that way. But I will say this. When they were in the rehearsals, and they were going into rehearsals too, so let's be clear.
She worked her ass off.
She did work her ass off. But I was dying when Brooklyn was like, look at her sit over, look like she was getting on the floor like the greatest catch ever. I said... I said, Brooklyn, no. And I was sitting there thinking, like, was that insensitive? Did she call it? And I was like, no, she more so called her tuna or like fish. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right. I was like, I get
it.
That.
Was
a
little
right.
read. Though.
It was
what was funny to me was like Akira was like, if y'all want to slight each other afterwards, she was
don't do that
talking to
now.
Vanjie and Evie.
Akira's ass.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
Yes.
Like, I'm here with you, my sister. I'm here with you, my sisters. I understand.
Yes.
It is a burden and a weight to carry. But that is a lot of ass.
Akira's look on the runway was everything.
She gave me Golden Phoenix.
Yes.
And it was beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. It was very pageanty, but it was beautiful. Beautiful.
I don't know why I haven't noticed this, but it was just something about the way that Vanjie was looking. I was like, she's a really cute boy.
We are. I had that conversation with somebody.
Oh,
yeah. I would. Me and Vanjie. Oh, I'd have a conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would.
I believe. Don't speak though. Do not speak.
No, he can. Keep your mouth closed. But you just. I need you to stay. I need you to stay between here and here. Mm-hmm. Like don't. No, just stay right between here and here. Don't go off the deep end. Just stay right in here. Like just.
Something about him makes me wonder. I have a story. Remember my story about going to the ball in Brooklyn and the dude that sounded like Harvey Firestein and the gun and the weed and all of that? that dude was a big dude, but lost a lot of weight. I haven't seen him in like 15 years, so I'm wondering if it's the same person because they sound exactly alike.
I don't necessarily know if Vanjie's that old.
Yeah, that's true because that would make this dude at least in his late 30s.
Yeah, I don't know if Vanjie's.
Yeah, because that was in like 2002.
Yeah, I don't know if Vanjie's that old.
Yeah, probably not that.
Yeah, so.
But
I could be wrong, so I don't know. I don't know how old she is.
That metallic fabric that Rue had on was cute. I like that. I mean, it was alright. I mean, let me see. What else did I have to say? Love Connie got on my fucking nerves.
Listen. Love Connie, but listen.
I got what it was.
Silky at that point was nasty. Something about that was nasty to me. When she just came up and danced and she fell out and got up and started eating a piece of food, whatever the hell it was, I said, "You big bitch." I was like, "What is?" I said, "What?" Listen, But my girl, Stacey Lane Matthews, another big girl, but she wasn't nasty with it. I don't know what it was. It was something about that was just
something about Silky is just off-putting.
It was
generally.
She
looks fine in drag, but out of drag, she's
and I've seen her
off-putting.
continental. I've seen her continental performances, and listen, she danced the house now. She had her backup dancers. She did a great show, and I'm sure she's a wonderful person. But the looks on the show, I'm like, outside of the competition, girl, you looking a little rough. Like, so
I also like in the rehearsals, I found Evie Oddly's outie navel distracting.
I didn't pay attention.
It was it was very distracting.
I didn't pay attention to that
because it wasn't like a regular outie. It was just like this. You ever like a baby, like when the navel is when it's still healing? It was like huge. It was just
so basically it was like an elbow,
right? It was right. It was like this.
Like an elbow.
It was just sticking out. I was just like, it's kind of weird.
So I checked out the Untucked afterwards, and Evie had even during the show she had a little moment with people, but in her Untucked, she had a conversation with with a couple of the girls at how they felt like she was standoffish and she was always ready to attack, and she was just like, no, she's like, she was having a very vulnerable moment with the girls in Untucked. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm glad she actually did show a little bit of her vulnerability, whatever her physical ailment is, that helps her to stretch and bend and be very elastic. Because I was like, girl, you are a slinky. I was like, but she rolling around on the floor. I was like, you are a slinky. Whatever it was, she was talking to him about that, and so she was having some problems with it. So I wish you well, Evie. I hope you.
And I was reading another critique of the show on the AV Club, and they were saying, which I agree with, that she has little patience for women, for the queens that make excuses, because like she said, she's got maybe about 10 more years to do this. So that's why she's bringing her A game. I mean, she doesn't always succeed.
Right.
And when she doesn't succeed, it's not,
completely, it's not a
right. And it's not a
total fail, a total loss.
And it's not excuse making
right.
about why she didn't. And so, that probably translates into, less patience with other people. But, if you just do it like I do, like, well, girl, just let them do their foolishness off to the side. You continue to slay the challenges, and maybe you'll be a winner. But maybe even if you don't win, these last 10 years that you do drag, you make a lot of coin.
Make a lot of coin, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So now let's get to the lip sync. Raja and Scarlett.
So first of all, Scarlett's lip sync was way better.
And once again, I'm disagreeing with Rue. Like, I'm disagreeing with the fact that she saved Raja.
Right. I'm like, but why?
Like, I'm disagreeing.
And I don't really care for Scarlett. I mean, I don't dislike
her dancing was horrible. Let me be clear.
But even in the, she was giving me energy. She was letting you have it. She was going in.
Yes,
and you know what? I also actually do not care for Raja, so maybe that is feeding into it.
Well, Raja's okay. She's okay. But now I'm gonna give Scarlett points for the cut and the reveal.
That was Last Dance.
I said okay. Girl.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna give you points for that.
I love a reveal.
That jumpsuit was like, but okay, I give you points for the reveal. So I'll give you that. But I'm disagreeing with Rue on this. I disagree with. Actually, last week when Sugarcane and Ariel were lip syncing, Ariel she fell, but actually I thought they both should have went home. And
I
like
thought
Sugar
so
Cane.
too. Yeah.
So it's like, but you know, I'm disagreeing with Rue a lot. So I don't know.
I like Sugar Cane, but I feel like even though she's like in her early to or
She's our age, I think. Isn't she?
mid to late 40s.
Yes.
Well,
That's
you
what I
know,
thought.
she got, I don't. You never know with some people.
Okay, well that's. I thought
Like,
she
bro,
said that.
I'm 32 years old. You be like, oh, okay. Touch the skin. It puts the lotion on its skin. But yeah, I felt like they both should have gone home.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the looks. Evie's look was, I mean, I saw what she was going for, and it was cute for what it was, but I was not moved by it.
Again.
I was definitely moved by Akira's look.
Akira's
the big
look.
hair, the glitter, all of that.
A golden phoenix.
Yeah, Brooklyn's look was cute as Norma Desmond. I really like that.
So I like
too.
Norma Desmond or the movie, but
Sugar was doing good. I liked her Aztec goddess look. And Plastique, you know I love a bitch with wings.
the
the
headpiece
wings-
on Plastique was everything. Like it would look like little feathers. Like
Yeah,
like
and
that.
it was like
And
all
metal.
connected. And
That was everything.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
That and the wings were good. Frankly, you know Vanjie, I love you to death, but you should have been sent home on that look. That look was basic as fuck. There was a glitter bikini with glitter on the skin and an eye mask. That was the entirety of the look. She looked like
She found these items in the back and put them together.
right. I mean, she looked like someone with no like if an everyday woman had done that for like Halloween, you'd be like, "Oh, girl, that is cute."
Right. But you are Vanjie.
Right, and I was just, and they'd already read you for that, but and I, so I get what Akira was saying. Was it Akira that was saying, if that's what you bought, that's what you bought?
Exactly.
But mix the pieces up. You got to do
But
something.
that's exactly what Evie was saying to her, and Evie wasn't trying to come for her. She was like, "Girl, just mix the shit up. Like mix it up.
Right.
Do something different." Listen.
Take some shit that you bought and spray paint it. If you're going to start with the foundation of this gold bikini, you got to jazz it up because she literally just walked out there with a gold
really
bikini.
She really did.
Good hair. She didn't look terrible, but
No.
for this show, it was terrible.
And we are at what, week number 5 now?
Right.
So yeah, girl, you
If she had worn that as her entrance look, it'd have been like, okay, fine,
yeah, it's like
whatever.
all right. In fact, her entrance look was even better than that.
Yeah.
So it was
I
like,
was really disappointed.
come on, girl. Like you could have put the
And-
mask on that entrance look and walked out with that. That would have worked better.
Right.
But anyway,
So
Raja
Vanjie was
and-
mad.
Yeah,
Silky still looked like Oprah. And you know what? That's not necessarily a read, but also for her, I mean, I get that that's what you're used to painting and doing, but coming in that this whole show is about stepping out of your comfort zone, doing things beyond what you normally do, and you can't just say, that's all I know how to paint is do this beauty paint. Well, that's only going to get you but so far. And the Oprah look is cute if you're going to Times Square or to Vegas and doing an Oprah impersonation,
Yes.
but you just aren't going to be able to do that for the entire show.
that is correct. I agree with that.
So,
But anyway, they got to the lip sync between Raja and Scarlett, and I was kind of sad to see Scarlett go, but I was kind of happy to see Scarlett go because I really felt like she gave her all for that lip sync.
yeah,
But she's gone, and Raja,
you on the bubble next because this
You in danger,
isn't
girl.
this like her third? Wasn't that like her third time lip
you in
syncing?
danger, girl.
Yeah,
You in danger. In fact, before it used to be nobody's ever done 3 times.
yeah,
So you in danger, girl.
yeah.
Get it together. And if she goes up against somebody like Vanjie or Silky, if they're in the bottom, you in danger, girl.
I'm sure Silky. I mean, listen. As much as Silky annoys me, I'm sure when it comes, if she got the lip sync, Silky is gonna run circles around
I
her.
hope she does.
Or
Now, also the choice of music, Rue.
I thought Last Dance was a good song.
Last Dance was, but the weekend before, even with Sugar Cane. Listen, I'm gonna need you to give me some more upbeat or some more dramatic music because it's not something about. Like I was pissed off when they did the Janet Jackson one, and they gave. I was like, out of all the music,
and then was it Janet Jackson or someone that did like a weird remix. So there really wasn't a whole lot of lyrics for you to even lip sync to.
She's
was that the Janet Jackson?
That, and then also
or was it J-Lo? No, it was a J-Lo
but she
song.
splices music to make it fit within this time period as well,
which is fine. So, but it really wasn't. It was not only that it wasn't a whole song, but it was like one of those
the boring parts, or like nothing, not the exciting part. Or
right,
anything.
It was one of those club remixes where you don't necessarily get to hear the song, and they don't get to. There was nothing to emote against.
Exactly. So I don't know. But I'm gonna keep watching because again, it's one of my good shows, and so I'm gonna keep watching. But I gotta give a shout out to the teams, Turkmenistan and Glamzonia. Listen, Turkmenistan, I love this name.
Yes,
I love.
They were funny.
I love it, and Nina was actually pretty good as well. Nina's another dark horse to watch out for.
But her, and she is good, but Michelle Visage nailed it about what has annoyed me about Nina the whole time is her silhouette.
Oh yeah,
I'm like you look. She's giving SpongeBob square body, but same difference. But yes. And so I'm just like, you got these big breasts, these big shoulders, but you're just going straight down. Can you get like a waist cincher or something?
Duct tape.
Or even like a lot of big women will wear something that has like
a flare out gown.
Oh no, so even if they do have a straight body, so like the side panels will be white, but then there'll be color that goes in like that, so it gives you the illusion of a shape. I've seen a lot of big women and even smaller women anybody that just is like sort of straight up and down. You wear something that has like black sides, and then there's like an inset color that does like that at the hips, so it makes it look like you have a shape. That has always annoyed me, and I was like, Michelle nailed that.
Michelle is
on
good.
The head.
Travis Wall, the choreographer, I didn't realize he was so gay. Oh my God, he's so gay. He's like over gay. I love it though, but it's like, oh my God, he's so gay. You're so gay.
You are gay.
You're so gay.
I know gay when I see gay.
Come call the show, Travis. We want to have you.
Oh, I want to have.
Speaking of that, I was having a conversation. We had our good friend and DJ Vaughn Allure at Code Red. And so I've been in conversation with him. And so be on the lookout because I think we're going to have either a phone call or in-person conversation with Vaughn Allure. So I'll keep you on the lookout about that. So looking forward to that, the possibility. So we'll see how that works out.
Yes. So before we go, we want to give a shout out to the pledges of Onyx Mid-Atlantic who have their bar night on April the 20th at the DC Eagle. Welcome to the jungle. There's going to be a lot of exciting things. They're pulling in a lot of donations.
Yes.
They just got a donation of I think it's a stay for two for a weekend at Zebulon's Grotto.
The nudist place.
The nudists. Clothing optional.
I'm sorry, clothing optional.
Spot in Virginia. And apparently, which I didn't know, the owner of Zebulon's Grotto is Kevin Aviance's brother. Did you know he's from Virginia? Just dash over it. So also, Onyx is having events for Black Pride. There's going to be an Onyx University with classes and demos. Are we still doing the dance?
Yes. Yes, we are.
And the dance,
There's going to be a dance.
Was that subtle? No one saw that, did they?
Anyway, so Black Pride, which is Memorial Day weekend here in DC.
Yes.
Onyx is going to have a series of events in conjunction with Black Pride.
Stay tuned. We'll give you some more information on that, and we have some stuff that's coming out with them as well. So,
and also don't forget if you would love if you would like to join the Men of Onyx Indigenous People Day weekend in Los Angeles, come see us for Blackout 24. More details on that to come. You can find information actually on the national website, which is www.onyxmen.com, and look for Blackout 24. Bing. You want to close us out?
So listen, thank you all for coming into the show tonight. and tuning into the show tonight. I'm looking at different pieces of paper, which is copies and copies and copies of stuff. But anyway, so the BGKH show is streams live on Wednesdays on www.voxwave.com. It is from 8 p.m. to 9:15 Eastern time and 5 p.m. I'm sorry, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern and 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific. Episodes are available on YouTube every Friday. Search for Vox Power 373 and look for the BGKH show with Dominion and Epic. So we are still able to host a live audience. We are still able to actually have people to call in. In fact, we didn't give you the number. We can give it to you now. Don't call in now, but call in next week. 240-719-2560.
One more time. 240-719-2560.
And that's all you can do. Just call right into the show. You can actually chit chat with us.
Yes.
So, so listen, if you need to reach me, you can reach me on Facebook.
Oh, we forgot to mention that in addition to YouTube, you can also hit us or listen to the show on SoundCloud and iTunes.
Ting. Ting. There's a ting in there somewhere. So anyway, if you need to get in touch with me, you can reach me. You can find me on Facebook. You can search for Epic Onyx, and you'll see me. You can also reach me on Twitter at Epic Onyx1, and you can also reach me on Instagram at I am Epic Onyx. Dominion, how can they reach you?
You can reach me on Twitter and Instagram at DomOnyx, Facebook.com/Dominion.Onyx, and my website, www.domonyx.com.
So we are actually on time.
Yes.
Again.
Exactly on time.
We are on time again. Okay. So listen, I'm so glad we had this time together.
Young people are like, what?
Just to
Girl,
laugh
is something wrong with their ears? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm showing my age.
Right.
It is. And I'm okay with that. So,
Right.
But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all in Facebook land and YouTube land and Instagram land and Snapchat land and every other land. Thank you all for tuning in. We love you. And have a good night. Mwah.